Greetings, this is Paul the Poke from paulthepoke.com. Today's topic, trend update. Putin, Erdogan, and Rouhani meet in Turkey. We are April 3, 2018. Got a map here of pretty much Europe and the Middle East. The focus, we're going to look at some of the ancient names. So we're looking at Magog, Meshech, Tubal, Gomer, Beth the Garma. And the context of all this is Ezekiel 38. And specifically, Magog, son of Japheth. So we'll go all the way back to Genesis 10, verse 2. The sons of Japheth were Gomer and Magog and Madai and Javan and Tubal and Meshech and Tyrus. So Japheth was the son of Jonah. The sons of Japheth were born after the flood, and we get that from Genesis 10, verse 1. Now, specifically looking at Magog, the Bible and historians are very consistent. Magog is modern-day Russia, and we're looking at the brothers of Magog. That would be Meshech, Gomer, and Tubal, and they appear to point to modern-day Turkey. And the third member of this group, Ezekiel 38, verse 5, Persia is the focus. Persia was known as Persia until the name changed in the 20th century, and we know it to be modern-day Iran. So if you're interested in detail regarding ancient peoples and their modern-day counterparts, I have a series of articles that was written in the past. You can click on the links below. They are at godinanutshell.com. Who is Magog? Who are Meshech, Tubal, Gomer, Beth the Garma? Who is Persia? And, the bottom line, Bible is talking about Russia, Turkey, and Iran, which leads us to April 2nd, 2018. Here is Turkey's President Recep Erdogan, and he's making headlines again. And this time he has publicly called Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu a terrorist, and that would be Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel. And the statement, "Hey Netanyahu, you are an occupier. At the same time, you are a terrorist." Now I'll let the president speak for himself. So if you click on this, you can get a little flavor of this. He's talking to his people, letting them know what he thinks about it. So Erdogan's making these comments literally a day before he's going to meet with Russia's Vladimir Putin. So got a little cover here, so he's going to do some talking, which leads us to today, April 3rd, 2018. Erdogan is scheduled to meet with President Vladimir Putin of Russia. And these two are going to meet in southern Turkey, and we'll zoom in on this, on the shore of the Mediterranean. This is a nuclear facility that is being built in Turkey, and they are having a groundbreaking of the construction. It's going to be a Russian nuclear plant. And this is a sign of cooperation between the Russians and the Turks. Now, in addition to the nuclear cooperation, Russia and Turkey are laying the Turk Stream gas line, and this is for the transport of Russian natural gas to Turkey. Keep in mind, Turkey has also purchased Russia's S-400 missile defense system, and that took place in late 2017. So Turkey and Russia are getting along quite nicely. And tomorrow, the 4th, Putin and Erdogan are also scheduled to meet with Iranian President Hassan Rouhani in Ankara, Turkey, which is up here a little bit further, the capital of Turkey. These three folks are going to get together, have a little summit, and they're going to discuss the happenings that are taking place in Syria. So here we have Damascus up here in the northeast part of the map. Down here to the south, here is the Syrian Jordanian border. Now, while all these talks are taking place, it's important to note that the Syrian army is advancing south towards the Golan Heights and the Israeli border. And the Syrian army is deploying troops near Quneitra, which is where this red marker is, and then also in the village of Dara'ah, which is down here in the far south. So the bottom line is Syrian troops are on the move. And this is the same thing they did east of Damascus. They warned, they said, hey, we're coming, you need to resist, or we're going to destroy you, fight you to the death. And of course, they said, let's fight to the death. They're all dead now. And the same thing's starting to follow up again. So they have some, quote, terrorists or somebody who is opposed to the Syrian government, and they're making their move down south. Now, the problem is, this is Israel right here. I mean, this is literally not very far at all. You can see the border. And this is where they're sending troops. And we know how this goes down. These ancient brothers, Russia, Turkey, they've fought against each other for hundreds and thousands of years as mortal enemies, and each of them have looked to control the region. The Turks want to control the region. The Iranians want to control the region. And now here we are in the 21st century. They are together and united, just as Ezekiel 38 said roughly 2,500 years ago. So the question gets to be, how close are we to the invasion of Israel from the north in the Golan Heights? So if you guys are interested in this, I do have some news links provided from almazdarnews.com. Tensions rise in Da'ara as Syrian army troops keep pouring into province. Timesofisrael.com. Russian-Iran leaders head to Turkey for summit on Syria. And Middle East Eye, Twitter page, you can check out Erdogan telling everybody that Prime Minister Netanyahu is a terrorist. So, interesting times. As always, feel free to check out paulthepoke.com. Key category will be Ezekiel 38:39. You guys take care and have a good evening. Bye.